The infamous scene that almost got Knight Rider cancelled is one of those behind-the-scenes stories that reminds fans of just how fragile television success can be. Knight Rider, the iconic 1980 series starring David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight and featuring KITT, the talking supercar, was beloved by millions for its mix of action, high-tech gadgets, and wholesome heroics. But despite its eventual success, the show came perilously close to being pulled off the air, not because of low ratings or production costs, but because of a single, controversial scene that shocked executives, censors, and even some of the cast. At the time, Knight Rider was known for pushing the boundaries of television storytelling. Its futuristic car, crime-fighting plots, and intense action sequences were revolutionary for 1982 standards. Fans tuned in not just for Michael Knight's heroic antics but for the charisma, charm, and wit of David Hasselhoff, paired with the talking car that seemed almost alive. It was a show that walked the line between family entertainment and thrilling, edge-of-your-seat drama. But one particular scene in Season 2 nearly changed everything. The scene in question involved a high-speed car chase, one of the show's signature sequences, that culminated in a cliffside stunt. KITT, the sleek black Trans Am, was set to leap across a canyon to rescue Michael Knight from a deadly trap. The stunt was ambitious, technically challenging, and designed to be visually spectacular. But in the final cut, the sequence looked more dangerous than anyone expected. Executives were horrified, not only because of the perceived risk to the actors and stunt team, but because the scene appeared to glorify reckless driving. In a world where television standards were rigid and sponsors were cautious, this was enough to trigger alarm bells. Network executives immediately convened emergency meetings. Concerns ranged from potential legal liability to public backlash, especially from parent groups who were already wary of television violence. Some even argued that airing the scene could set a dangerous precedent for other action shows. For a series that relied on weekly viewer loyalty and advertiser support, this was a serious threat. Rumors began circulating that the scene alone might be enough to get Knight Rider cancelled before the season even finished airing. The cast and crew were in disbelief. David Hasselhoff himself was reportedly furious at the suggestion that a single scene could derail the show. The stunt team, who had spent weeks preparing the high-risk jump, felt their work and professionalism were being unfairly criticized. Writers and producers argued that the scene was essential to the plot, showcasing Michael Knight's heroism and KITT's capabilities. They pointed out that the suspense and excitement were what made Knight Rider unique and beloved. But convincing the network proved more complicated than they had anticipated. Public reaction added another layer of complexity. Sneak previews and promotional stills of the stunt had already leaked to the media, creating buzz but also controversy. Fans were fascinated by the daring move, but conservative voices worried about children imitating dangerous behavior. Suddenly, the show that had seemed untouchable was at the center of a real-life moral debate. Would the network risk offending sponsors or viewers, or would they trust the creative team to handle the scene responsibly? In the end, the controversy forced a compromise. The scene aired, but with additional safety disclaimers, editing adjustments, and behind-the-scenes explanations about the meticulous precautions taken during filming. The network included a voiceover highlighting that professional stunt drivers and advanced safety equipment were used, and that viewers should never attempt to replicate what they saw on screen. These measures allowed the episode to air without the show being cancelled, but the incident left a lasting mark on everyone involved. Behind the drama, the infamous scene became a turning point for Knight Rider. It taught producers and the network how delicate the balance was between thrilling content and audience responsibility. It also highlighted David Hasselhoff's role as not just the lead actor, but a public ambassador for the show. His charisma, professionalism, and insistence on maintaining the integrity of the story helped the network see that the series had long-term value beyond a single controversial stunt. Today, fans often remember the stunt as one of Knight Rider's most daring moments, a symbol of the show's creativity and ambition. Behind the cameras, however, it was a near-catastrophic event that almost ended one of television's most iconic series before it could fully establish itself. The infamous scene serves as a reminder that for every beloved moment in entertainment history, there are countless behind-the-scenes stories of negotiation, risk, and near disaster that shape the shows we love. In the end, Knight Rider survived, and KITT's legendary canyon jump became a part of television lore. But for those involved, the incident underscored the fragility of TV production and the importance of navigating creative ambition alongside network standards, legal concerns, and public perception. The infamous scene didn't just thrill audiences, it nearly made history for a very different reason, as the episode that could have cancelled a classic.